Today we'll start in a child's pose, please. So bring knees a little bit wider, sit hips right back, slide hands in front and let your elbows drop down, let your head come to the floor. And just ease your way in. Noticing if you're feeling a little bit tight today, if you're feeling a bit tight around the hips. Maybe your head doesn't quite make it to the ground comfortably. Just take time to let yourself settle in, let the shoulders open. Allow every breath to sink your body more heavily into the pose, coming deeper and a little more relaxed. Big full breaths, moving into your back body, feeling the back of the lungs fill and melting into the pose with each out breath. Staying here just for a few more breaths. Really try and focus your attention on your breath. Focusing inwards, feeling into your body. And let's walk hands around to one side. So we'll open up through one side of the body. Big long stretch, tuck in the other elbow, just let the arm rest down. So breathe into the open side of the body. So you might get a stretch around the outside of the shoulder, down the arm, down the side of your torso. And come around to the other side. Keep dropping hips, feeling space to breathe. Coming to the front again. Now press down into your hands. Slowly rise, and let's bring knees under hips, and then we'll just stretch out the feet. Tuck toes under, just rock back and forth. And switch to the other side. We'll move through some cat-cow poses. Always a lovely way to start to mobilize the body. So rounding out into our cat pose, and then lengthening through into our cow. Rounding out. And coming through. Think about the movement around your shoulders. So we'll let the shoulder blades separate, move away from each other as we round the back. And then we'll let the shoulders loop back and away from your ears as we come through. So it's like we're looping one way and then the other. Just a couple more times. Moving with your breath. All right, and then sit your hips back towards your heels and slowly rise all the way up. So stacking hips over your knees, stacking shoulders, reach arms all the way up. And then pull your elbows down and a little bit back, feeling your shoulder blades slide down in towards each other. So we'll keep drawing in through the belly so that we're not making a banana shape with the back. Then reaching up Sit hips back and float hands down. Coming forward, lengthen through into a cow pose and then round out to your cat. Coming through to cow, sit hips back, rise all the way up. Hold the stability in your pose as you pull the elbows down. So without popping the ribs forward, we're still pulling in through the front of the body. Rise on up. Sit hips back. Just slowly float the hands down. And we'll just repeat that sequence one more time. So we're coming through. Rounding out. Moving into your cow pose. Sitting back. Curl all the way up. Feel that vertical alignment in your body. And pull down. Coming up. Sit back. And then as you bring your hands to the floor, shift your weight forward, tuck toes under, and send your hips up and back. Coming into our downward facing dog. Let's peel it out. Lower one heel down, bending the other knee. Start to stretch the legs. Keep tipping your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Feeling the shoulder blades draw towards each other. Widening across the collarbones so we're not hunching up by ears. And then we'll keep walking the feet, but come in closer all the way up to your hands and into a forward fold. Just a little bend in the knees. Let your body hang. If you don't want to hang all the way down, you could always have your forearms to your thighs. Now bring your feet a little bit wider apart. So if you're on a mat, they're around about to the edges of your mat, and you might have your toes very slightly turned out just for a bit more balance. And then hold on to elbows and just let your body sway from one side to the other. Bringing the weight more into one leg and then the other. You might be twisting around, so coming a bit further around. Let your head really hang. So loosen up through the neck. And let the arms drop. They'll curl all the way up to standing. Keep rolling all the way up. Vertically stack everything. Float arms high. And come down through center. So you can just position the feet wherever you're comfortable. Might be about shoulder width apart or hip width apart. Spread your toes open. Feel the weight kind of more in one foot and then the other, coming forward and back. Maybe some little circles around one way and the other. And then finally dropping right into the center where you feel most at ease, the stable posture. All right, sweep palms down and reach them up. Now try and hold on to that lovely stability in your pose. So we're not popping the ribs, we want to pull the belly in, even if it means your arms are to here, depending on the overhead range of your shoulder. So make sure that you're not making it banana shape. And then we'll pull the elbows down. So you might just have a little softness in the knees just to help maintain your posture. And we'll stretch all the way up. Soften knees and dive all the way down to fold. Okay, step your Let's go left foot back and rise on up to a lunge. So drag the arms up, bend the back knee and pull your elbows down, still maintaining this posture. Rise on up, bring hands to the floor, step both feet back to your down dog. Alright, float your way forward, come high onto your toes, let your body ripple forward, then set your strong plank position. Bring your weight all the way forward over your hands, wide across the collarbones, then push into hands, lift up and back. Walk your feet all the way up to your forward fold. Drape your body down. Curl all the way up to standing. And notice I say all the way, constantly. Continue to reach arms all the way to the top. Then pull your elbows down to the top. And dive to your forward fold. Right leg back. Drag arms up. Dip the back knee so that your weight is even in both legs. So we're not all the way forward and we're not coming too far back. We want to be nice and centered. Pull elbows down. Reach on up. Hands to the floor. Pushing back. Keep shifting your hips a long way back. And then float your way forward. Come all the way into your plank and then shift a little bit further forward. Let shoulders draw away from ears. Think about lengthening the chest through. If you're shaking or wobbling, that's fine. Stay for one more breath. Then push hands, shift back. Bend knees. Now you can either walk your feet to your hands or you could bend knees more deeply and spring right up to the hands. Hang out for a second, then rise to the top. Now this time, rising up to toes. Keep reaching fingertips high, keep pulling the belly in. Then lower heels, come all the way down. Let the head hang. Bring hands halfway up. So I should say bring hands to shins and lift halfway up, makes more sense. Now sitting back and down into a chair pose. Sweep arms up just as high as you can without making that curve in the spine. So we want to still stabilize our pose. Noticing your overhead range. Those shoulder blades drawing back and down. Then come all the way to the top. Keep on reaching. And mount back down to your forward fold. Halfway lift. Sit hips back and down. Sweep arms high. Rise on up. If you want, you can try coming up onto your toes. Land the heels and dive. We're going to do that one more time. So breathe, lift and lengthen. Sit back and down, sweeping up, keep pulling in the front ribs. Rise on up, maybe to toes if you're feeling steady. That's why we want to have that nice, strong, stable posture. And come into your forward fold. Just hanging out and loosen up through head and shoulders and neck. You may even like to do what we did before, where you step a little bit wider and just sway from side to side. Okay, loosen up arms, curl on up to standing. Sweep arms high. Come down through center and readjust your position. So you might want to move the feet, bring them in under hips again. Just take a couple of breaths. And we're moving into a tree pose today. So taking one foot up to the calf, or you can keep toes on the floor depending on how wobbly you're feeling today. So we'll just keep that foot quite light. I want you to really focus on keeping this central, the strength through the center of the body. Okay, so it's not so much about just trying to brace the foot against the leg. We want to be really strong. If you were to lift the foot off, you're still holding your pose nice and strong. All right, extend arms high. See if you can maintain your posture. Separate hands and let your shoulders just drop away from ears. We're not pulling them down hard, but we're not keeping them up here, hugging in by the ears. So we're still pulling in through the belly, standing strong, vertically aligned. Now float arms wide. Pull the thumbs back. Keep your chest proud. Float your foot off and bring it back. Sweep arms down and float them just ahead of you. Right, sweep arms up. Replace the foot and touch down, come to the other side. So we'll start with hands at center. You might be feeling quite uneven. Might be feeling some work in the glute or the hamstring. So make sure you're not swinging your hip out to the side. We want that, central pillar of strength. Okay, so try and steady your attention. Focus your eye gaze ahead of you. Then with your next breath, sweep arms up. Separate the hands. And make sure you're not swaying into this hip. Really try and focus on centering everything, drawing in through the ribs. You might have a bit of a squeeze in the glutes to help stay strong. Float your arms open. Pause right here. Now float the foot off, sweep arms down and ahead of you. Come to the top again, replace the foot and step down. Have a quick little shake off, step and swing. Okay, and return to center. Hands touch. Okay, bringing your foot to your calf. If you want to, you could guide the foot higher up to the thigh, but it's really important to make sure that you're not swinging the hip out. So we still want to keep this nice centered pillar of strength and stability. So keep squeezing the glutes enough to help support the leg in its position. You can have toes on the floor, you can have foot to calf, or you could be higher with me. Let's breathe, arms up. Separate the hands. Just let the shoulders fall away from ears. With your next breath, open wide. With the out breath, stay, settle in. Now really slowly lift your heel off the leg. Come back, arms come down and forward. Reaching up. Now I doubt the foot's going to make it to the thigh by itself, so just come anywhere on the leg, hold and touch down. Find your way to the other side, choose your position. So maybe you're coming higher, guide the foot up if it needs it. Steady, broad across the chest without popping the ribs, belly drawing in. Little squeeze in the glutes. Breathing up. Breathing out. Just a little softness in the chest. open. Release the foot as slowly as you can. Bring it back. Arms come down and forward. Rising up. And touch down. Let's step it up. Feet under hips. Stretch up high. Keep reaching the fingertips up. Pull the elbows down. Coming up again. And dive into your forward fold. Let the head hang, shoulders relax. Okay, step your left foot back into a lunge. Drop the back knee this time. Keep your fingertips on the floor if you can, or if you need a bit more space, you can come up to your thigh. Just easing into the hips. So we're working on the stretch at the front of the hip flexor here. Keep easing in. And then we'll take a twist, so plant the left hand and sweep your right arm high. Try not to collapse into this bottom shoulder. So lifting out of it, rotate the body open. Stay for another breath. And touch down. Tuck the back toes under, knee lifts off. Step the foot back. And bring the other foot forward. So bring it all the way, right the way forward, so the knee is over the heel. Plant the back knee, dropping in, keep fingertips to the floor, or come higher if you need it. Just breathe into this length all the way up the front of the hip there. Plant the right hand and sweep the left arm high. Keep turning your body open. Touch down, tuck the back toes under, knee lifts off. Plant the hands and step back. Bring the right leg through again. Knee down. Dropping in. This time push into the front heel as we sweep arms high. So here we're still pulling in through the front of the body so we can lengthen down through the tailbone. So we're not making that banana shape again. Pulling in. Now turn to face this thigh and sweep arms wide. One arm forward, one arm back. Rise again. And touch down. Tuck the back toes under. Step back. And spring left leg forward. Drop the knee. Take a moment to ease into the pose. Think about lifting up through the crown of the head, making the body as long as you can. Then sweep arms high. It's a little bit of balance here. Turn towards the front thigh. One arm forward, one arm back. Sweeping up. Touch down. Tuck toes, knee off, and step back. Okay, so we're going to sweep the right leg up, bend the top knee, allow your hips to rotate, but try and keep your shoulders level. So feel how the shoulder blades are actively hugging into your back, pressing evenly into both hands. And then we're going to bring the top knee through right up by the thumbs and lower the back knee down, extend that back leg. Or you can bend up the back knee if it's more comfortable for you. If the back leg is long, keep the kneecap pointing down towards the floor. Now drive down into this front foot, lift the chest to make the pose really strong so your hands are really light. You may find that all of your weight is in your hands. So our focus is to try and bring all the stability into the hips. Plant the hands, tuck toes under, stepping back. This time, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, allow the hips to rotate, level shoulders. Knee slides through. Back leg out long or bend it up. So find that stable posture, as light as you can be on your hands. If you've got all the weight on the hands, that's absolutely fine. But just think about what's happening in the hips. Can you drive down into that back leg? Can you drive down into the front leg? Can you breathe with ease? Plant hands, tuck toes, coming back. We'll do it one more time on each side. So breathe the right leg up and over. Coming forward, knee through. Try and prop up onto fingertips if you can. Press down into that back foot. Keep the pose super strong. Coming back. And left leg up. Bring it over. Slide it through. Drive down into the ground. Plant hands and come back. Pedal it out, walking on the spot. And then bring these down, come and spin all the way over onto your back. Shuffle the feet in. Keep knees at hip width apart. So we want to slightly engage through the inner thighs so the knees don't fall open. Arms at your sides and lift hips off. So you can either hold your hips, you can keep arms on the ground, or you can even clasp your hands behind your back and tuck the shoulder blades in towards each other. Make sure you've still got space to breathe. So if you're feeling really tight around the throat, just think about the position of your head. Keep pushing down into the soles of the feet. Really try and send the hips high. So you might be getting a stretch at the front of the hips there. Active through the glutes. And really spacious through the ribs. Big breaths. Let's hold it just for a couple more breaths here. If you start to sag, keep driving down into the backs of the arms, driving into the feet. And we'll come up really slowly, release hands, curl all the way down. Keep rolling down until finally the hips land. Let the knees fall over to one side and to the other. Keep moving back and forth. And finally settle back through center again. Bring the right foot ankle over thigh, knee wide. So we're gently pushing the knee away from the body. Or you could reach through and grab behind the thigh of the other leg. But do try and push this knee out wide, keeping your ankle strong to help support the knee in a twisted position. And we're pushing the ankle against the thigh, but also pushing the thigh back against the ankle, so we're creating a lot of resistance here. See if you can access a stretch around the outside of the hip. So it might be in a slightly different position to everyone. Just notice what you feel here. Keep the shoulders wide and dropping back towards the ground. Keep your head relaxed and just breathe easy. Try and keep the pose a little active, so we're not resting here You're still working on creating that resistance to keep pushing the knee away. Okay, slowly release the hands, close the thighs together, and grab hold of the fronts of the knees or down the shins, whatever you can reach. So we'll kind of bring the lower legs a little bit wider. See if you can really get into a stretch around the outer hip or around the outer sides of the legs. So flaring the feet out wide. Okay, we'll slowly release and switch to the other side. So we'll bring the right foot to the floor and the left foot hooks over the thigh, pressing the knee away from you. Then choose if you want to come up higher. But if you find that you have to lift your head off to get there, maybe you want to choose a position where the foot stays down. Make sure that the head can relax and the shoulders can drop back so there's no tension through the upper body. We're trying to keep this pose active, pushing the knee wide, pushing ankle against thigh, and also creating resistance by pulling the thigh towards the ankle. Just a couple more breaths. Okay, closing thighs together. Hold tops of the knees or further down the ankles, whatever works for you. So sending the feet a little bit wider, hugging the knees in. Try and keep the back of the hips anchored on the floor. Come slowly out of this pose. Bring big toes together, open your knees wide. A nice counter pose here. Holding onto your shins or up to ankles if you can get that far, thumbs to your insteps. If the shoulders are curving forward, pull them out wide. Shoulder blades move towards each other. And then soften down, belly and chest. Easy breaths. You could stay right here, or if you want to take it up to a full happy baby pose, then you can grab hold of the feet or your shins, lift them up towards the ceiling as though you're trying to stand on the ceiling, then call your knees down towards your outer ribs. If the tailbone curves off, try and anchor that back down. Let your breath move fully into your belly. Soles of the feet come together, lower to the ground with your knees wide. Just for the last few minutes of our class, you can stay here if it's a comfortable position for you. If there's no discomfort in the lower back, that's really important. If there is, you might just bend the knees up or stretch out long. Bring your arms at your sides with your palms turned up. Shoulder blades hugging towards each other. Collarbones are wide. Head is comfortable, bit of space around the throat, but also long at the back of the neck. Let your knees feel heavy. Breath flows with ease. Dropping in more heavily with each out breath. See if you could relax muscles in the body. Let your limbs feel heavy. Let your head feel heavy. Torso feels spacious. And then with your next breath, let's float arms up high overhead on the ground above you. It's not really high, it's low. It's a big long stretch, and then send one leg out long and then the other. Arms float wide as the knees come up and gather them in towards you. Make your way all the way back up to seated. Take your time, take as long as you need. Little shuffle around, bit of an adjustment to get comfortable. Vertically aligned posture. Tall and spacious, but also a little softness at the chest. Let's float arms up with one more breath. And really stretch up tall, send your fingers high. Come together, thumbs down to your heart space to finish. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.